Welcome to CEC Gurukul online lectures. I am Dr. Parveen Sharma. Today in this session, I will speak to you about the types of conflict and aspects of conflict. When we know that conflict is inevitable, it starts from the beginning, and as the life goes on, the types of conflict may change, but it is inevitable. So, we will see what can be the types of conflict. Sometimes it is within and other times it is outside. Suppose it is related to workplace, that it can be due to poor communication, confusion about job responsibilities, conflicting goals, or poor leadership. Other times it is hidden below the surface. What do we mean by hidden below the surface? Sometimes the cause may not be clear, then you are not able to know what can be the type of conflict, how it arose. So, sometimes it is expressed and sometimes it remains hidden and you do not know. And if we are giving the example of workplace, sometimes we see that some of the employees are working very hard and others are not doing. So, sometimes the boss or the head is not saying them anything. So, what will happen? It will create the confusion and it will create the disharmony among the group. So, it is the duty of the head to maintain balance or equilibrium or the balance in assigning the task or the job responsibility, because sometimes the situation is like that due to poor communication at workplace it happens. So, we will see later on what can be the types. So, here I will discuss two types of conflict. First is intra-individual or intrapersonal conflict, and the second is interpersonal conflict. See how the intrapersonal conflict develops. In intrapersonal conflict, within every individual there are various needs. I spoke to you about the need hierarchy theory of Maslow. So, within individual there are many needs, and you as a person sometime have a dilemma or conflict in your mind, whether at the beginning, at first, I should do this work or that. So, you have various needs and you have dilemma in your mind, and one uses various ways to fulfill it. Many obstacles come in the way. It has its own positive and negative aspects. I will discuss with you that conflict is always not bad. Sometimes it inspires you, it motivates you. I will discuss. So, when there are many needs within the individual and one is trying to thinking, or there is a conflict, from where I start and how should I fulfill the goal, who can help me and what are the obstacles. Definitely conflict is inevitable, and when you do something, obstacles will definitely come. So, it has its own positive and negative aspect. We will see. Sometime frustration, when one is not able to fulfill his or her goals due to obstacles in the way, what will happen? Definitely frustration will occur. Stress will come on the mind of that fellow, because the person is trying to fulfill his goals, but various kind of obstacles come in the way and frustration and stress is there, and that is not good for your personality. Of course, if I here remind you, the great psychologist Freud was of the opinion that there must be a slight stress, mild stress in your mind, mild frustration, because that mild frustration will motivate you. But you know, there is no balance, no measure which can tell you what is that slight, because it depends on the situation. The person has to see himself or herself what is that mild stress. So, then the goal conflict. Sometimes goals have its own conflicting sides. You make goals and those goals have conflict in within them. First situation is approach conflict. See, what type of conflict is this? Approach. When one has to decide between two positive goals, this may create mild stress, meaning by you have two options and both are positive and both are of your interest, then you feel what should I do? Suppose you are good at cricket and there is the opportunity that you have to go for playing cricket, but then on the other side at the same time there is a good opportunity for you to go for some other job. Both are good for you, both are of your interest, then there is a mild conflict in your mind whether I should go for this, I should pursue this or that. Or you apply for two jobs and your selection is done at both the places, then you are not able to decide. There is a slight stress in your mind which will be better for me. So this is approach conflict. And the second is the approach avoidance conflict. What happens in this approach avoidance? When one wants to complete a goal and at the same time avoid it. Suppose you get promotion in rural areas, you want promotion but you don't want to go in rural area, so you want to fulfill the goal and you want to avoid it. So there will be a slight conflict in your mind. And the third type of conflict is avoidance conflict. When one has to choose between two or more negative but mutually exclusive goals, then it is known as avoidance conflict. You do not want any situation but you have to do one thing, then that avoidance conflict is really bad for your mental health, for your physical health. And mostly it happens in the life when such kind of situation you have to face, then this kind of avoidance conflict is really harmful. See, in this pic all the three approaches are made clear, then two desirable alternative, then the positive and negative, then the third is facing a choice with the two undesirable alternatives. So this pic is clear enough to make the three kinds of approaches of the conflict clear to you. Then role conflict. When one faces opposite expectations in order to fulfill one, individual has to reject another. Suppose you have two offers and you have to reject one, then you are not able to decide which I should reject and which I should do. For example, a child is good at sports, but his or her parents wants the child should study medicine. And in school, sports teacher motivates the child to go for sports and the parents are asking the child to become a doctor. So it reduces the work efficiency and also affects mental health of the individual. So this kind of role conflict, when one has to choose between the two things, it is really conflicting situation for the individual and it brings stress and frustration for the individual. Then these are the conflicts which goes with intrapersonal. Now I'll speak to you the second kind of conflict, that is interpersonal conflict. When two persons compete for one thing, then it is known as interpersonal conflict. You know what happens if you have a very good friend and one opportunity, one job, and you two friends are trying for that, only one can have it, then I spoke to you earlier that due to conflict, the friendship may turn into enmity. So it occurs due to various reasons. What are those reasons? See, first is the habits and beliefs. See, our personality type is different. Definitely, our lifestyle is different. Our behavior is different, and so our attitudes, habits and beliefs. And what happens? Our lifestyle, behavior, attitude and habits and beliefs, they get on accumulated, and when they go on accumulated, as a result of that accumulation we learn. How do we learn? Because learning is a lifelong process. If we leave the school, it doesn't mean that our learning has stopped. We go on learning informally. So these kinds of habits and beliefs, they go on accumulated, and any of these factors can create conflict between two or more persons. Then if I talk about limited resources, when number of people is more and resources are scarce, what will happen? There will be a fight and quarrel between the persons, because resources are scarce, goods are less and the persons are more. पुरानी कहावत है हिंदी में, एक अनार सौ बीमार, यानी उसके चाहने वाले ज्यादा हैं, वस्तुएं कम हैं. सो इन दिस कंडीशन conflict may occur because resources are limited. Then the change. When other person wants to give you suggestion to bring change in your style of writing, speaking, style of dressing up, living or any other. The person is giving you just a suggestion, but you are so adamant, then person is giving suggestion in your benefit, you start feeling bad and the conflict arises. Then you may not like, and this disliking may turn into a cause of conflict. Instead of just appreciating or just following the guidelines or suggestions given by that person, you start developing a conflict or bad feeling for that person. So it can be a cause of conflict also, a type of conflict also. Then poor communication skill. Due to gaps in understanding, the comments or suggestions of one person may create confusion and can create conflict. And then lack of clear goals. When there is lack of clarity regarding the goals between the two persons, that result is misunderstanding, because when there is no clarity of goal, it will result in misunderstanding, and then poor communication skill also will create a conflict between persons. Then see, in this pic you can see that a person is trying to guide the two persons that you must not quarrel like this, you must follow, but when the persons they are not following it, then the conflict may go on and it will take you nowhere. See, power and status differences. When there is a power and status differences, unequal distribution of power and status is also a reason of conflict. Take the example of institution. Distribution of workload between teachers. Suppose head is favoring someone and not the other one, then distribution of workload between teacher is not equal. Then if I take the example of an organization, in an organization when officer is biased regarding the allotment of assignment and duties and other perks, definitely a quarrel or a conflict will arise in the institution or in the organization. Then clash of values and interest. When there is a clash between values, like when to conduct test in an institution or when to increase salary in a private organization, if you seek the opinion of other persons or employees, there might be a clash. Some will like at a different time and others will at a different time. So this kind of values and interest will bring a cause of conflict. Then if I talk about stages of conflict, there are different stages, that is the latent conflict, perceived conflict, felt conflict, manifest conflict and conflict aftermath. I will discuss with you one by one. See, what do we mean by latent conflict? In this stage, conflict is not apparent As it has not taken its shape, some of the anecdotes that establish conditions from which conflict may occur are competition for limited resources, when there is a gap of communication, when there is a difference in style of working or difference in the set goals. So, this is one stage of goal. Then perceived conflict. Sometimes by misunderstanding or lack of communication, incapability of one person by another, then it creates conflict. Then there is felt conflict. It is a kind of internalization of differences. This may not make him or her serious about understanding the reality. Then manifest conflict. At this stage, person or party show in his or her behavior such as open aggression, sabotage, apathy or withdrawal, etc. Then the last one is the conflict aftermath. It depends on conflict resolution mechanism. Later on in the next series, I will discuss with you what can be the methods of resolving the conflict. So, it depends on conflict resolution mechanism. If it is suppressed, may take aggravated form later on, because I spoke to you that the conflict must be noticed and resolved in the beginning, in the initial stages. When we do not bother in the initial stage and when we suppress it, it may take aggravated form later on. If it is resolved amicably, cooperation is expected from both the persons of both the parties. Then I will discuss with you the aspects of conflict. There can be two aspects of conflict. It can be positive and it can be negative. As I spoke to you that Freud, the great psychologist, says that when there is a mild stress or mild conflict or mild frustration, it can motivate you, it can energize you, but there is no measure how much will you define the genuine one or the mild one. So, one is a positive conflict. It is certain that you will experience conflict in life anywhere. As you move on, as you interact with your peers, your friends, or at workplace, or in the community, or in the society, or in the family, when you interact, it is not certain that everyone will agree to you or everyone will work according to your wishes or your values. Then what will happen? Disagreement or in the values or in the working styles or in the method. So, what will happen? Definitely you will experience conflict. So, it is inevitably anywhere you will feel conflict. It is not always bad. It can be healthy if managed effectively. Out of the conflict, you get a situation of choices which will give you attitude, ideas, behavior and goals. You know, I spoke to you that sometime you feel that there is a conflict, something is going wrong, but actually in real conflict does not exist. It is only in your mind. So, it is your attitude, how you perceive the things, how you look at the things, what goals you set, what are your ideas. So, when there is a conflict, it might be a turning point, because when the conflict arises, when a little stress to you, then you may think, what should I do, what will be better for me. So, that kind of conflict may be positive for you, may be a turning point for benefit of yours, or you may change your ideas, you may change your behavior and goals also, because that is positive conflict for you. See, if you have difference of opinion, that it may open new avenues. It provides opportunities to think again. When there is a conflict or there is a barrier in your goal, then this is a time you may rethink that I have got a different opportunity. If my working style or my goals or my attitude and how I look at the things is not up to the mark, then I must bring a change in my working style or my goals, or according to my capacity or ability I should change my goal or my working style. So this way we see that the conflict may open new avenues for us, give new opportunities to think. So high degree of motivation may motivate you more and more, because conflict is not always bad. It may be positive, it may be turning point in your life. See, when you express your conflict, it may relieve you from frustration and helps you to maintain good health. I spoke to you that sometime the stress is expressed and sometime it is not expressed, it remains hidden down the surface. Then when you speak out your problem, when you speak out your anger or frustration, it is good for your health. But when if it is suppressed to out of a limit, then it will spoil your mental as well as physical health. So if you speak out your frustration but in a genuine manner, then it is good. It supports good decision making and it builds cooperation among people through learning more about each other. You know that learning never stops. We keep on learning, sometime formally, sometime informally, but we keep on learning, and this makes our personality. It also gives you a chance to clarify the important issues. Then when conflicts arises, one comes to realize what are the problems in relationships which must be solved. When you feel that there is a conflict in the group and it is damaging our relationship, maybe in a group, maybe in a family, maybe in a friend or at workplace, when you ponder over the issues that what are the problems, why the conflict is arising, how and why it is damaging the relationship, it means that kind of conflict is giving you the opportunity to think or to manage your relation with the other person, with the other party, so that you can find out some strategy to solve the issue. So they also encourage change and indicate which are the new skills to be learned, because according to the new times we have to learn new skills. NEP 2020 is also saying, also focusing that we have to learn new skills and we have to prepare our students to be ready for the future problems. So we have to develop the new skills among them, they have to learn it. So a conflicting situation often sparks curiosity and stimulates interest. So conflict is not always bad. In this positive direction we see it creates a curiosity to learn more and more, and it stimulates interest to do something, because interest must be there to something, to do something positive in your life. Then we talk about negative conflict. Conflict is usually associated with negative thoughts or unpleasant situation. As you talk about conflict, you think unpleasant situation, but earlier to this I spoke to you, they can be positive also. If ignored, can be destructive. The conflict when ends with a resolution of winner or loser is destructive. When there is a conflict, when there is a competition where you have to declare that the one party or one person is winner and the other is loser, then that situation is destructive, because we have to establish peace and harmony among the people, among the group, among the society, among the nation. It undermines your morale. When there is a negative conflict, it will undermine your morale. You may get involved aggressively, you will become frustrated, and out of frustration and stress your behavior may become aggressive. It is harmful to an individual's emotional or physical well-being, because I spoke to you, when person is having a conflict, it may jeopardize the personality of that individual and will not be able to think in a rational manner. Then out of emotions or out of disturbed mood, one may become very aggressive, which is really bad for the growth of the individual and for the society as a whole also. See, conflict as a cost. If we talk in reference of an organization, conflict is not necessarily a cost for the individuals. Sometimes individuals raise the conflict, but other times the manager may create competition or such situation. Manager may create such situation knowingly in order to emerge as a leader. In that case, it becomes the cost on the part of organization, because it might block the realization of goals of organization. See, then if we talk about conflict as a source of disequilibrium, equilibrium of the organization is affected by conflict. Organization is said to be in equilibrium if inducement exceeds contribution for every participant. Organization will be in disequilibrium if contribution exceeds for some or all participants. Then some other factors which lead to conflict are high tension among employees, discontentment among employees, mistrust, goal displacement, and resignation of personnel. So, we see that there are different types of conflict and different aspects of conflict. So, after knowing the aspects of conflict, we come to know that conflict is not always bad. Of course, as soon as we listen the word conflict, is associated with negative thoughts, but it is not always negative. Sometimes it is positive for our growth, it energizes us, but it should be positive one. And I hope by the time it is clear to you what are the types of conflicts, what are the stages, and what are the aspects of conflict, and I hope to maintain peace and harmony and to maintain good relationship in the class, in the institution, in the organization, at workplace, at home, everywhere. It will help the persons to know how to maintain harmony and how to maintain a relationship which will lead you to personal growth and growth of the society as well. Thank you.